that would be the number two mistake, right? Is not taking the time to run your practice. You know,
When
everybody knows this. But
did you get some clarity in your head and say like, no, this has to stop or things need to change? Was there a moment or was there a day where it just absolutely went mushroom clean in there?
it built up for a long time. I worked way too hard, so I ran a very big practice in 15-minute increments in between patients. And so I got sick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you mind
I got
going into
really
that? Yeah, we
ill.
don't have to, but
No,
yeah,
it's okay. I had some issues with my health, and I'm a super healthy person, but I
yeah,
was working, my stress level was so high,
yeah.
and I was working so many hours. I was just absolutely frying myself.
Yeah. I want you to share because I don't think that it's rare for that to happen.
No,
I think
it's
that
not rare at
business
all.
owners and people who have advanced degrees have always solved the problem by let me do more. I will take on more. I'll take on more
Yeah.
education. I'll take on more student debt. I'll do this to achieve this goal. And then you get into practice and you think, I want to achieve these goals. I will sacrifice myself. And I've had dozens of friends that, you see them at a conference or something. And I want to ask like, what happened? Like, what? I don't know how to say it, but
Yeah.
they look 4 years older after 1 year.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think we all get to that, right? And
Yeah.
I was at that stage hiring coach after coach, trying to find, I knew I had an issue, right?
Okay.
I had, because I was still exhausted. I was just working way too much. So I knew I had an issue to solve, whether it was operations or streamlining or better training or whatever it was. But
Mhm.
really, the answer came in the fact that I had to stop putting myself in to fix the problems, right? It
Yeah.
was always like, oh, it's a slow day. I'll go into work because I know I'll just bring people in because I do. I go in and fill the day, no problem. But I'm like,
Swooping in like
like,
a superhero and saving the day,
yeah, just
right?
going in, okay, we're slow. I'll go in and fill the day. And I've got, associates sitting on their thumbs and I'm working my booty off, right? It's like, no, this is not the right picture. And that was happening probably, I don't know how many years I was in practice, probably maybe around 10 years in practice, right? And I was just realizing I was like burning at all ends and they necessarily weren't. And it wasn't their fault, right? So I had to resist stepping in to save the day. And
Mm.
instead, I had to look at my operations, my procedures, my training, my coaching, my leadership, and I just had to stop. So it was like I had to sit on my hands, and that's what I did. And I took a day off during the week.
Yeah. You don't seem like the kind of person that sits on your hands. So,
I'm not super good at it,
I
but
mean,
to
were you
run a
going out and doing stuff? Were you golfing or I mean, we talked about skiing. Like, were you using that day to go be active? Were you handling behind the scenes stuff? Like what?
yeah, in the beginning, really was just peeling back that admin day, just a full day to look after the practice. It's only recently that I peel off a day to go skiing.
Okay.
But I pulled off a day to do admin, and now I've pulled off 3 days, and that's been a really great change. And it was just like, I won't go in and save the day anymore. I'll look at what I'm doing wrong operationally. I do believe in practice. If there's something failing, it's always on my shoulders, right? It's up to me and my training and my platform and my operations and my procedures. Something's broken, right? You have to look at
Yeah.
yourself first.
But I,
Always.
I think too, there's some sense like last year, my son had this big project he had to do. And it was clear we hadn't taught him how to tackle a project like that.
Mhm.
But you realize I can't do the project for him because then he's not learning. Then he's not achieving his own. He's not gonna feel the reward of, hey, after you put all this stuff together and you did this, like you earned this. But we definitely had to provide better support. So how do you balance that of like, I could be the superhero, but I'm gonna let them suffer. I'm gonna let them stumble, and I'm gonna let them have the success. Like, how have you learned to handle that for other business owners listening?
Yeah, that's a great question. I actually I don't really want to let them suffer. I don't think that's the right terminology. I had to become a better leader. So I had to step away from just doing the tasks for them, just like raising a kid, doing the tasks for
Mhm.
them is not the answer, right? As you just
Right.
mentioned. But for me, I tried to make my meetings more valuable and more consistent, for one. So every
Okay.
doctor has a personalized every clinician has a one-on-one every month, which isn't a lot, but it's just a time for them to come to me. I really look for criticism on what I'm doing from them, and I give them, feedback. We talk through issues. It's a really personal time for them to
Yeah.
express to me how things are going for them. I also try to encourage them without just looking at, the dry numbers, right? Which is like,
Yeah.
okay, I want you to up this and up that and up this and up that. That just feels like, oh, they're just, it makes them feel tired. Instead we try to look at of other ways that just encouraging the business to grow. Let's see. I lost track of your question.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, how do you balance when I said suffer, let them suffer, like, I think in some learning you need to feel the pain of why you need to change, right? Like,
Yeah, I think so
understand the
too.
problem, let them sit in it, not just pull them, like rescue them and pull them out, like,
Yeah,
so
I
they have
think
some
so.
reference point of how bad it could be.
Yeah, I guess I haven't put them there at all.
Okay.
I'm very protective of my staff and my team.
Yeah.
I would say I care for my doctors greatly. I pay them well, I train them well,
Yeah.
and I'm their ear and I'm their support. And so I think of it more of that way. I try to help them with more positive coaching,
Mhm.
so it's not really the sandwich model, but I try to be very radically open in my communication
Mhm.
with them, both bad and good, and I want the
Yeah.
same from them to me. So I want, because we're a growing team, we're a little company, we're all working hard, doing our best. And we need to be honest with each other, and it needs to be a safe space to do that.
Mhm.
And so that's been really helpful. And then also just digging down a bit more on some of the basics, right? Some of the basic treatment plans, why are people, as you and I have talked about, why are people dropping at certain stages? How do we need to relanguage something? What do I need to create to help you make sure your treatment plan is successful?
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Trust Driven Insights, brought to you by Trust Driven Care. Imagine a world where all your patient communication is in one place, seamless, effortless, and on autopilot. That's the power of Trust Driven Care. If you're ready to streamline your practice, check out trustdrivencare.com and see what's possible. Trust Driven Insights, real conversations, smarter care, stronger business.